So always first check. Can everybody hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm Yannick. Nice to meet you. Last year I already met Aaron and I spoke at the Digimark Middle East event in Dubai. And a couple of months ago he texted me all out of the blue and he was like, "You're in Antwerp, right? We're doing a Digimark on Europe for the first time. And it will be in Amsterdam. That's right around your corner, isn't it?" And that's what brought me here. So welcome to everyone. I'm always struggling with clickers, by the way, so if the slides don't follow what I'm saying, just raise your hands, and then I know. So I'm Yannick, and I'm going to speak a little bit about growth marketing today. Also very curious on where the level of growth marketing is in this audience and this room. So let's get going. So I'm Yannick. I run my own studio agency, and we basically focus on growth marketing. That's mainly what we do. And these are some of the clients we work or used to work for. And since we're in Amsterdam, I thought it was also very useful to mention that I'm a big Ajax fan. I already have a season ticket for over 15 years now, so it's not my first time in Amsterdam. But usually this is what I look like in Amsterdam, so it's a little bit different than today. But enough on that now. Growth marketing as an agency, I thought I might give a little explanation or introduction on that. And basically what we do is divided in 4 parts. First of all, we do growth as a service, and we try to help companies of all sizes by implementing a process of rapid experimentation. So we want to help them to leverage new ways of marketing to grow or to increase their goals or targets. Next to that, we do a lot of education. We do workshops, we do trainings, we do keynotes, of which this is one example. We do new venture validation. So for example, for a big corporate, they focus on innovation, and they spend a lot of time sticking Post-its against the wall. But what we do is we always try to go from an idea to a validated or not validated prototype within a couple of weeks. So it's by using growth marketing techniques such as landing page creation, prototyping, advanced social media advertising, and that's how we do it. And last but not least, we do a lot of side project marketing. I don't know if you guys know it, but it's basically marketing as engineering. It's creating tools to solve one of the pains of your audience to make sure you will bring the audience closer to you. The most famous example of that is the website grader of HubSpot. I don't know if any one of you knows that. It's a grader where you type your URL and, of course, your email address because they want your data. But in exchange for your data, they will give you a free report on the performance of your website based on I think, a 30-point score. They will say your website is too slow. This is how you can solve it. Make sure you change the images and so on. So they actually they solve a pain of their audience, and in exchange, they get the email address so that the audience becomes leads. They turn them into potential customers. And that's what we try to do for companies. I'll show you a great tool to do it without being an engineer today. So who of you knows what growth marketing is? Any smart, brilliant minds in the room? I know Andrew has a small idea, but he's an agency as well. Anyone? Okay. I always explain growth hacking with this slide, and you might think, what is a tiny Asian guy has to do with growth marketing? Well, this guy is Takeru Kobayashi, and he used to be, until I think someone broke the record a couple of weeks ago, he used to be the world champion hot dog eating. And again, you think, hot dog eating, world champion, growth marketing, I don't see it. Yeah, I can imagine. What this guy did is actually all the competitors in the hot dog eating contest, they were just eating hot dogs, and yeah, you can imagine hot dog eating contest, all like pretty heavy people just going for it, but he found a loophole. He just decided to eat the sausages first. Yeah, this is like very weird to explain it on a stage, but he was just eating a lot of sausages very fast. And then he dipped the bread into water, which made it digest way more easy and a lot faster. So he could take it up to speed, and yeah, it was easy for him to eat like 63 hot dogs in just a couple of minutes. That's what growth marketing is all about to me. It's about finding loopholes. When all your competitors are spending their money on, let's say, a display advertising, look for a different way to do it more efficient, a tactic that is not saturated yet, and find solutions to reach your audience in a more efficient way. So if you want to become a growth marketer, you better learn to eat hot dogs fast. Today, actually, I'm talking about growth marketing, but I actually want to convince you of only one thing, and that is to experiment more. I think if I ask the question, who of you is already running marketing experiments and trying a lot of new things, who would raise their hand? Quite a lot of people. For example, here, can you give me one example of a recent experiment you've done?
We switched from traditional search engine advertising to dynamic search engine advertising, and like AdWords just got massively more effective and more time efficient. Should I repeat? We just switched from traditional search engine advertising to dynamic search ads, and it got the time spent on AdWords down with like 80%, way higher CTR, way higher conversion rates. It blew my mind.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
And what made you decide to do that experiment?
Because I need to get more done in less time.
Okay, cool.
Better results in less time.
Okay, and it's successful now?
Very,
okay,
yes.
Cool. Anyone else who can give an example? Because I saw a lot of hands in the back. Up.
We switched from placing traditional ads and putting things on sale to doing rewards campaign marketing, because all of our competitors were putting stuff on sale, and we needed to do something that was, eating more hot dogs.
Yeah, okay. And how did you make a switch?
Well, we just decided to. Well, we're Amazon, so we wrote our own service.
Okay,
to
yeah,
actually
that explains. Yeah, okay. No explanation needed. Okay, cool. Thanks. Okay. The number one question people ask me all the time. That's actually a good one. We're Amazon, so no explanation needed. I'm gonna put it in the slides. The number one question people ask me all the time, like experimentation, growth marketing, but what is the number one tactic you can give me to grow my business? But yeah, that's like a question I really, really don't like, because yeah, growth marketing is actually not about tactics. And for example, the first value bomb I'm gonna give you in this presentation is this resource. It's ladder.io/playbook. And it contains like over 800 free tactics you can just copy or try or use for an experiment, and they're mainly digital focused. So all of it is in there. So you don't need to ask me what is a tactic to grow my business. The thing is that growth marketing is not necessarily about tactics. It's all about implementing a process. So it's what I already said. You have to implement a process that allows you to run a lot of tests next to each other and to compare to see in which tactic should I invest my money to get the highest return. Last but not least, I think sustainable growth, this is a quote I really like. It's from Sean Ellis, the godfather of growth marketing. And what he has to say is sustainable growth comes from understanding your best customers and finding more of them. It's just. And if you look at that, and if I visit clients or talk with prospects, I always realize it probably has been a long time ago that these people spoke to their clients and asked them, what makes you buy our product, or what makes you like us? And that's just really important. And if you think of it, when was the last time that you did it? Probably you haven't done it very recently. And that's where I think the potential for growth starts. Because, you want to find people who like your product or buy it. Figure out what makes the people who already do that do it. So I think that's the basis. And yeah, what I already said, tactics are mainly secondary, and yeah, it's all about process. I'm going to explain our process at the Growth Revolution a little bit later. And if we take a closer look at growth marketing, we really see that yeah, the sport within marketing, the niche field, has matured a lot amongst the last years. For example, I think most of you might know this one, the Chinese click farms. For the people who don't know this, it's basically a system where they can control it with like one computer and say, we're gonna download this app 500 times with one click. And a lot of companies use these yeah, nasty tactics because they have no budget and they want to get higher in the App Store, or they want to rank higher in Google or whatever. You basically do this yeah, to play a little bit around with the algorithms. So for example, if you do this and you have an app but you have not really a budget, yeah, you can download your app like 500 times or 50,000 times would even be possible. And the App Store would think, this is like a really popular app. We're going to rank it all on top in the hit lists in the App Store. So you can play a little bit with that. And over the last years, yeah, growth marketing even went to politics, because if you see, Emmanuel Macron is the president of France. He actually went from a political almost nobody in a couple of years to president. And the way he did it is like very, very growth marketing focused. He used chatbots, he used retargeting, he put pixels in his landing pages, he did ultra targeting ads on different personas. So that's really how a growth marketer thinks. So that's really smart, and it turned out to work great for him. Unfortunately, you could also see this with the far right wing in Belgian politics a couple of months ago. They climbed really high in the voting system with the elections in Belgium, but the way they did it was really remarkable. If you see, this is like just a couple of their ads they had been running, and it's just focused all on different personas, and they really understood very well that social media is all about engagement and interaction these days. So if, for example, you like sports, they're going to speak to you about sports. If you like environmental issues, they're going to speak to you about environmental issues. And that's all the way. So if you could see the list with the highest interactions on social media, or in this case Facebook, they were always on top, and yeah, they did it really smart because they knew it would work with their audience. A campaign I also really like, and it's not that super technical, but it shows that growth hacking and growth marketing is also, it also has a lot to do about thinking outside of the box. It's this one from Volvo. It's a small video. I'm going to show it, but it's really exceptional creative.
On Super Bowl Sunday, the US is big, loud, and expensive. Sweden is Swedish. So how does Volvo compete with the other car brands and their millions spent on commercials during the game? We don't. We steal it.
When you see a car commercial during the game, any car commercial, not Volvo, you can tweet using the hashtag Volvo contest.
The interception was simple. Their commercials would give you a chance to win one of our cars for someone you love. Just tweet their name to Volvo during any car commercial. When Mercedes wanted you to look here, people immediately went here. When Lexus spent 4.5 million for this, Twitter looked like this. Shifting the social conversation to Volvo. With up to 2,000 tweets per minute every time their commercials aired, we changed the Super Bowl conversation from one loud 30-second roar to an ongoing conversation about Volvo that lasted the entire game. We were the only car company to trend both nationally and globally.
So they weren't advertising on TV, they were letting all the other car companies do that for them?
just like that, their millions of dollars worth of car commercials turned into a social conversation about Volvo, helping our XC60 to a 70% sales increase the month following the game, the highest in its segment.
So I think this campaign is absolute proof that a little bit of creativity and outside of the box thinking can do a lot. What they did here is like an exceptional case of hacking traditional media, in a very smart way. So I think it's pretty cool. Where every presentation needs a title, my title was "Go Beyond the Buzzwords." So I thought it was time to give you a little bit more explanation on how we implement growth marketing at our clients and at the companies we work with. And it's basically with the growth marketing transformation pyramid. We got it from a training institute, but the thing that they do is like really interesting to focus it on 4 pillars, going from mindset, to process. I already talked about the process. I'm going to show you our process later. And they speak a lot about, in this case, the team and the people that you use to do growth marketing. And last but not least, the tools you use, what we call the experiment stack. So in the first place, I think growth marketing has a lot to do with mindset. I think also the Volvo example shows that, different thinking and taking risks, is a big part of that game. And the first thing actually with that comes with the mindset change is, you need people that do what it says on the slide. You need people that get shit done. You need people that are both capable of writing copy, but also are not afraid to create a landing page, for example. If we work with larger companies, for example, what we see a lot is that people think, we need to register a domain. That's something for IT, so we're going to wait and we're not going to do it for the next couple of weeks, and then it loses all its relevancy. So that's really important. A really interesting man or company on this case is, this is Ramon Tata from Tata Communications in India, and he has something really interesting in his company. Every year he has an award for the best failed ID. And that way, he wants to stimulate his people to innovate and to be able to take risks. And that's like really nice. Another company that's really doing well here is Netflix. Reed Hastings, the CEO. He has a really nice quote where he says, "Our cancellation rates are too low, and that's proof that we're not experimenting enough and that we're not trying enough new things and that we're too careful with what we offer to our subscribers." So I think that's really nice, and it says a lot about the mindset. The cool thing is that the modern marketing and all the tools that are available allow you to measure everything and to make sure that you get data on all the experiments you do, so you're very capable to see what is working and what's not. I think we have someone from Amazon. They are like the real experts in measuring everything and translating it to really actionable things that they do in their day-to-day business. Second pillar is the people and the team. I think if you look at the T-shaped marketer these days, you see that it's really, really broad. And I think sometimes it scares people. It even scares me, like, what the hell, should I be able to do all these things? I think that's impossible. The only people who are capable to do that are people who invent Facebook, and then suddenly they have to deal with legal measures, and they lose their skill set. But I think it's really important that you find people, that you combine a good team that combines those skills. And the good thing about the T-shaped marketer and how we always hire people or work with people, and what you also see with modern academies, is that they turn people, most people are very generalistic. They have like a general knowledge of like a lot of things, and they can always adapt it and learn a little bit more about some things. But the cool thing with T-shaped is that you will have more specific knowledge on 2 or 3 things. For example, if I look at an ex-colleague of mine, Tom, he used to be a developer, but he's also very interesting in facilitating workshops. He's very good in writing copy, so he is very generalistic actually, but yeah, since he's a developer, yeah, he knows everything about writing code, and he knows how a product is built. So he can also do sessions on that, and that's like really nice on the T-shaped thing. Yeah, what an ideal grow team looks like. Yeah, I'm gonna let you take a picture of the slide if you want, but I think it's just important that you combine different skill sets and different capabilities. Also, maybe useful to mention is that there are 2 kind of new academies that focus on these skills. I think it's really important that those things get attention. One of them is even in Amsterdam. It's called Grow Tribe. For those who don't know it and are based in Amsterdam, it's really worth to check it out because they bring you the advanced skills. Third pillar is the process, and yeah, your CEO, or I don't know CEO anymore, but the founder of your company has a really interesting quote on that. And he says, if you double your experiments, you will double your inventiveness. And yeah, that's basically a thing that my company is built on, because I think it's really cool. And yeah, if you have your process based on this thought, I think it will allow you to be very inventive, very creative, and to be always on top of your market. The process we use is this one. We actually always gonna do all of the resources I mentioned, by the way, are on our website. So if you want to download or you write it down, just know you can get it for free. The first step is always to generate a lot of ideas. And we use the negative thinking canvas on our website, for example, where you take the customer journey and you remove all friction points. That's the first step. So that will translate to a lot of ideas. The second step there is that you have sometimes we have a list of 100 ideas that we prioritize them. How we do it is with the I score. It's always, we look at the potential impact versus the cost and the ease of one of the tactics. We do it for each of them individually. And based on that, we have a list ranked in the right order we should test these experiments. Then we're going to design the experiments. We have beautiful experiment cards for that, where we say we believe that we're going to do this. For example, that we should stop doing general AdWords and start doing display advertising, dynamic display advertising. To do that, we're going to do a test of maybe 2,000 euros, and our assumption is right when that 2,000 euros results in, and then the hypothesis you came up with. Then you're going to run a 2-week sprint. You're going to test the experiment. You're going to keep running it for 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks, you will measure the results, and you will iterate where possible, or you will kill the experiment or scale it. And then, I already asked it, but when was the last time that you tried something new? I think that's always important to keep that in mind and to mention it at every marketing meeting, or even if you have growth meetings. I think it's really important to use that as a starting point. And then the fourth and last pillar of the growth marketing transformation pyramid is the tools, the experiment stack. I already mentioned ladder.io. It's really worth to take a look at that because it's like a very good resource and it will give you a lot of inspiration. Some of you might know this slide. It's the marketing technology landscape, and if you take a look at this, it used to start, I think, in 2005 or something, and it was very small. There were like 50 digital marketing or marketing technologies in there. Today, it has thousands of marketing tools. So, even the craziest thing you would think of, there is a tool to automate it for you or to run it for you or whatever. It's just crazy. Just know that technology is there to help you today. This is the tool stack we use at the Growth Revolution. It might be useful to help you. My two favorite tools in there are Instapage to create beautiful landing pages without being a designer or a coder, and Espresso because I hope there are no Facebook people here, but because the Facebook Business Manager sucks. But we really use Espresso because it allows you to set your targeting in a very easy way and go ultra targeted. You can split test your ads with like one click, where in the Business Manager of Facebook it's just way harder to do it. So they have a free trial, so I suggest you give it a try. At the Growth Revolution, we basically experiment for two reasons. First one is to find your most efficient marketing mix and to identify low-hanging fruit there. Second way is to validate new business ideas. So for example, let's say you have an idea for a new product or feature. Usually then larger companies go for traditional market research. What we do is we really simulate the new business or the new product ID, and we're going to see how the market responds to that. We're going to see, is the problem big enough? Is the solution the right one for the problem? And is the market willing to use this, and are they willing to pay for it? This is a list of what we do. I think most important thing is that you should keep your experiments small, and that everything is like a new channel. I think Andrew spoke this morning about voice. I think the companies that are already playing and testing with voice marketing, for example, it's just a handful, and there's just a long way to go. So that's a huge opportunity. If we look at this room, I think all of you have one goal in common, and that is, the slide is basically ruined, but it's to boost your businesses with effective marketing strategies, to come up with marketing strategies, that give you the most for the least of budget. And I already mentioned when was the last time you were doing something new. I think it's also really important that you continuously relive or rethink the world your audience is living in. And we just mentioned voice. But for example, I think we're not that far away from people ordering toilet paper via their Amazon Echo or their Google Home. I think Amazon, for example, is already really working hard on that. And probably if you do it, you will order your toilet paper with Amazon. But I think it's also a big opportunity for every company to use these new technologies, to be one of the first ones to ride the wave and to make sure that you have a big audience in there, and what Google was 20 years ago. So where do you start with experimentation and growth marketing? I think I always advise people to do like a non-obligatory growth meeting where you invite people that are very motivated, people that are interested in modern marketing or new ways of customer acquisition. Bring them on the table and provide them with some brainstorm tools, such as the growth marketing canvas, the negative thinking canvas, and start with removing the friction points in your current customer journey. Speak to your best customers and understand what binds them to you or what makes them like you. I think that's also a really good one, and not a lot of companies are doing it. Last but not least, download the negative thinking canvas and remove the friction points. And one of our clients, Philips, they have a separate growth team, and in the growth team is this quote. It's painted on the wall, and I really like it. I think when I give this speech or I speak to people about growth marketing, they always ask me like, but is it ethical, or isn't this illegal, or can we do it scraping, and can we download the app 5,000 times at once? But at Philips, it's like a very big company. They simply say, we're going to do it. And once the experiment is thriving, we're going to see what the impact is. And it will still be so small that we still have to scale it ourselves for the experiment to have that amount of an impact. And then, my advice to all of you, of course, is to hire the Growth Revolution. Thank you. My advice to all of you would be to spend, let's put the 10% between brackets, but to just start experimenting and to make sure that you have at least 1% or one day or half a day of your time and budget to run experiments. And yeah, since Aaron asked me to make the slides a little bit more practical, I added 5 things that I really like or use to get a lot of inspiration for. And the first one is Phantom Buster. Are there people who already use this tool? It's basically the candy store for growth hackers. They call themselves the API store, but what it does is, yeah, I think we have technical people here from what I saw in the program. Yeah, connecting APIs and scraping and all these things is very technical, and a marketer or a digital or traditional marketer will think, yeah, that's not my game. I don't have to do this. But that's where Phantom Busters comes in. I think for almost every company, they have a lot of recipes on how to get closer to your audience. For example, one thing we use it for a lot is like if we are working in B2B, we have a tool that scrapes LinkedIn. It's in Phantom Buster. You can use it and you can say, I want all marketing managers from automotive companies in Europe larger than 1,000 employees. So I do my search, I use the Phantom Buster recipe, and I get an Excel list or CSV of all these marketing managers. Of course, people who have ever advertised on Facebook know that you can upload that list into Facebook and run ads on these people. And so on. And they are continuously adding recipes or things to Phantom Buster, so it's like really worth checking it out. Second resource I use a lot is growthhackers.com. The cool thing there is that it's a community, but it works like Reddit with an upvoting system, so you only get to see like the really good content. Not like how to become a billionaire in 10 easy steps, but really practical blog posts and long reads on how practitioners do their and manage their day-to-day growth marketing. So really interesting. They also have like a lot of cases where you can see famous tech startups on how they climbed their way to growth. A third one is I already mentioned side projects. Also, sometimes if you want to create a grader or a calculator or even a quiz, it can be very technical and hard to do for you. Involve.me is a website. It offers a directory of all kinds of side projects you can create, and it's just as easy as plug and play. You can just edit the pictures, the text, the questions, whatever. You can optimize it but it's just content management you have to do. So it's really worth trying because even if you just want to do a quiz, it's really good to engage your audience and to collect like a lot of email addresses at the same time. The fourth one is Lumen 5. We have been playing around with this for the last months, and I really love it. It's a tool that creates video based on text using artificial intelligence. So for example, let's say you have a blog post on something you've been working on. If you paste the URL of the blog post in Lumen 5, Lumen 5 will recognize the words, the headings, the pictures, and he will translate it into a video. You can try it for free. You should really do it. It's really nice. I think I see all of you thinking, that's not working. But it really is. And the cool thing is you can tweak the video afterwards. So in let's say in less than 15 minutes, you can have like a really cool video to boost one of your social media posts. It's really cool. And you don't need video editing skills. And the last one, the people here that are active on Facebook or Instagram probably already saw the AR filters. Facebook opened it up to the public really recently. They are doing it audience by audience. And the cool thing there is you can create your AR filters. With Spark AR, it's a tool, you can just Google it. You can create your own AR filter, or for your company, you can create an AR filter. And people can use it, but the cool thing there is that, it's actually free reach. If you have of course, if you are McDonald's or any company of that size, people will easily find it. But if let's say you're a 200 employee company, and your 200 people will use the filter you created, their complete audience will see it, and you will have a lot of free reach. And yeah, the cool thing is that it's pretty new. So this is one of the experiments that you should you should try really fast, because Instagram is showing those filters in a really good way. And the cool thing there is that, yeah, since it's pretty new, the accounts that use these filters will get a much more higher ranking than other accounts. And yeah, you're all looking for ways to make your marketing faster, smarter. You want marketing and more innovative. But I think the real advice today should be try to do one experiment, because usually people go home and they say, this guy mentioned a tool and their tactic. But I think, yeah, if you go back to the office tomorrow or on Monday, try to do one thing and see where it brings you. And just remember that there are no failed experiments, but only unexpected outcomes. I should print that on a T-shirt. Yeah, thank you. So if there are any questions, I think we still have time. So. Are we doing Q&A now, or is it later?
Any questions at all? No? You have one? Shall I throw it? You ready? You ready to catch? Yes!
I have
We've got
cell
a,
phone.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've got a good record here.
So this is all super interesting. I took so many notes.
Okay.
I'm wondering if you could describe maybe like one of the most representative projects that your company's done using some of these growth tactics.
Excuse me, sorry, the most representative project?
Or just an example of a project that you were pleased with recently that,
Yeah. I
that
think-
used some of these tactics or
Yeah,
something
so
surprising.
as you can, okay, thanks. As you can see, we're doing it in both ways. We're doing marketing projects, we're doing more innovation projects. I think the innovation project I'm most proud of myself is for an Amsterdam-based company, ING. What we did there is ING has like a 6 to 9 month corporate accelerator program, and yeah, it wasn't really, or isn't, in my opinion, really delivering a lot of great ideas to them. What we did there is, because they do it in a very traditional way, what we did is we designed like a new program of 8 weeks called upskilling, and in that program, what we do there, in the first place, it's open to all employees within ING. So the accelerators are mostly to entrepreneurial and innovation people. This one is open to everyone. So if you're working in legal, you can suddenly be part of an innovation program. That's the first thing. Yeah, it's called upskilling because we try to train these people. So someone in legal suddenly, or in HR suddenly learns to do Facebook ads or landing pages or whatever. And the cool thing is that we really shrink the time, or the amount of time that's needed to get to a prototype. So in 8 weeks, these people go from an idea of a new ING product to a landing page or a web application that they can use online or offline with testing methods to see how the market is responding to that. So that's one of the things that in that industry I'm really proud of. For marketing, we did like a campaign for Playmobil. It's like, does everyone know Playmobil? It's toys. It's like Lego, but less famous, and because it's a family business, and you know. But what we did with Playmobil is, they lost like a lot of email accounts or email addresses they had that had an opt-in with GDPR, and they came to us like, what can we do to bring in a whole new email database, basically very fast for some countries. What we did there is we thought we have to do something with referrals, and they wanted to do it for Playmobil 1 to 3. It's like Duplo from Lego. It's for 1, 2, and 3-year-olds. And what we did there is we decided, let's do a campaign and combine offline with online. And we did the daycare of the year election. And with that campaign, it was really crazy because we started very growth hacking wise by scraping all daycares in these countries. We sent them like an offline package with like a poster that the kids in the daycare should paint, all these tiny Playmobil masks and so on, so like offline. And with that, every daycare had a pre-registered landing page, and they get a code on their offline package. So, for example, if you had a daycare and you typed 123 in our URL, you already had your own page where you could upload a picture of your kids painting the poster. And then the daycares had to collect as much votes as possible. But it was really crazy because even in my Facebook and Instagram feed, I saw it passing by every day. Yeah, in the end, we ended up in less than, yeah, I always say a month, but actually less than 3 weeks. We had over 2 million unique page views. We had, I think, 115,000 email opt-ins, and we had 95 or 93,000 social logins for like a really small advertising budget, less than 10K. So it was, yeah, growth hacking wise, it was quite a campaign. So.
That's awesome.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah,
okay,
no, that's
thanks.
really interesting.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Sorry.
I'll do.
I was wondering, how do you apply the process to Facebook ad targeting when you're already targeting with lookalike audiences based upon your thank you page? Because I've been testing yeah, very much with different kinds of audiences, and I have not been able to find a better audience than the lookalike audience of the thank you page. How would you suggest to implement such kind of experimenting process to keep upgrading your audience? Because
yeah.
I'm kind of stuck on that now.
The first thing that would come to mind is that, yeah, what we usually see is that people, what you say is like already pretty advanced to know that I need people from the thank you page and, yeah, make lookalikes of them. What I would do is split test those people and show them different content. What we've been doing over the last, let's say, 6 to 9 months is, yeah, we call it Facebook funnel ads. And what we always do is
the instant experience, or?
What is it? No, it's not the instant experience. It's not. We just call it like that. Okay. But it's like because we turn it into a funnel where, yeah, the people that come from your thank you page already know you, but maybe the lookalikes don't. What we always do is we're gonna show a video to those people. So you have your audience, you show them a video, and you always bring them one step closer. The people who see the video, it's like maybe it's a video on a new product or anything like that. I don't know your product, so it's difficult. But yeah, you show them a video. The people that view the video, you scrape them and you turn them into a new audience. You show them like more an activation ad, and then it sounds weird. And
you mean like a new audience within Facebook, like a 25 or 75% video
for example,
view
your thank
audience?
you page lookalikes is like a 5,000 people audience or whatever. You show those 5,000 people a video. Let's say half of them, 50%, 2,500 people watch the video. You show those people an activation ad, and only with that ad or a next ad, you put the conversion in it. So yeah, your conversion cost will be way lower and the conversion rate will be way higher. And then you have like people who have, yeah, they probably saw your thank you page, they saw a video with a new product, they saw an ad with maybe a promotion or a discount or anything, yeah, and then you will only pay Facebook if they convert. So yeah, the chance that they will convert is pretty high.
Awesome tip, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more questions, anybody? No? All
No,
good?
I'm free.
Okay.
Okay.
We give Yannick
Thank you.
another round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. What have you got there?